the smaller version, the Mini to the Maxi. And this is by our workshop legend, the Practical Classics workshop legend that is John Simpson. John Simpson, ladies and gentlemen. And his fully restored Mini. Okay, come with me, John. Come over to the stage. Tell us about this fabulous Mini. How long have you had it?
About 9 years altogether, but the restorations took the last 5, on and off, as finances allowed.
Been a bit busy as well, I believe, with other people's cars?
Yeah, just a little bit, yeah. The fleet of PC, rust buckets.
Hey, steady on, hang on a minute. John, John has been our go-to guy, actually. We're on the magazine. When things just get a little bit much for us, we have to get the magazine out. Press week comes along, and that is our deadline week where we've got to finish writing the magazine and send it off for the printers. And John will get the phone call, John, help! And so we take the car up to John, and John is the guy who fixes the cars for us. We also have another guy as well, Matt Tompkins. So we're really lucky to have these guys. But it must be really hard sometimes having to deal with all of our rust buckets, as you call them, trying to find time to do your own cars.
Well, yeah, because I'm not only looking after your rust buckets and my own rust buckets, I also run a business servicing and restoring other people's classic cars, so I'm a bit of a glutton for punishment, to say the least.
What have you got in the fleet at the moment?
The Mini, 66 Sunbeam Alpine, 64 Rapier, and 2000 MGF. Okay. And so, tell me a bit more about the Mini then. What was the top condition was this Mini found in when you discovered it? Well, I was actually given it by one of my customers who was going to scrap it because it needed a new subframe. And I went round to do some work at his house, and I said, "You're not going to scrap that, are you?" And he said, "Well, yeah, the wife said we've got to get rid of it." Anyway, I just left it at that, and a couple of weeks later he turned up on my doorstep with this on a trailer, and he said, "The wife's told me to give you this." So I fitted a new subframe and we ran it for 4 years. Me and my son used to do auto testing in it until he started beating me, so I gave that up. Me and the wife, who sat down here, look, we used to do navigational rallies in it with the MG Car Club. Really good fun. But and it came to a point where we was just scraping it through the MOTs, and it came to a time that it really wanted doing properly. So 5 years later, this is it. It's had new sills, inner sills, floors, rear valance, complete front end on it. The engine's been modified. It's still a 998, but it's got a 1275 head on it with pocketed valves, steel centre main. It's got a Piper 270 cam, twin SUs, duplex gears. It really wants putting on a rolling road and setting up properly, because I'm not sure what power output it's got now, but a 998's got 39 bhp, so it's probably got a little bit more than that.
Even the Maxi's faster than that, John. Just. So
your Max is a lot lighter than this, isn't it? Because it's got so many holes in it.
Oh, how dare you! Most challenging part of the car. What was the moment where you just tearing what's left of your hair out?
Thank you. Well, it's got to be the rust. You won't believe how much rust there is on such a small car. It's incredible, in all the nooks and crevices, and you learn how they get put together, and it's a case of just cutting it out and welding in new, really.
Okay. And so, what's next on the list, project-wise? Have you got anything else waiting in the wings?
Looking at my wife, no.
God, just whisper it.
I rather think this could be up for sale soon, so if anybody's interested in it, come and see me. But it seems to have shrunk since the last time I was driving it, before we restored it. We knew we was going to bring it to the NEC this weekend, and I said to my wife, I took her out in it when we got it, because it's only been on the road about 10 days. And took it out and took her out for a ride, and I said, we're going to Birmingham in this. No, I'm not going to bloody Birmingham in that, she said. So we've had to bring it on a trailer, but it's not as I remember. Minis were good fun when I was younger, but now I'm 60 odd and it hurts to drive it. So what I'd love is an MG Magnet, ZA or a ZB. That's my ideal car. Love one of them.
Good looking car as well.
Just like me.
Suit you, John. Lovely. Well, just out of interest, because I don't think I've ever asked you this question. We've been working together for a little while at Practical Classics, and you've worked with the others for a whole lot longer because I haven't been here for that long. But what's the worst thing any of the team at Practical Classics has ever presented you with? The car that you just wanted to just get rid of? They drove it in the workshop and you or pushed it in the workshop and you just thought you were having a laugh?
Well, the sweat, we had a Mark II Jaguar about 5 years ago. What we bought one night after food drinks were consumed, I think. And the magazine, well, the editor then, it wasn't Danny, it was the editor before that. And he said we would take this Jag on as a restoration project. Well, it was such a bloody heap of shit, it was unreal, you know.
We'll have to beep that out. Sorry, edit it out.
But it was a right shed, and we stripped the car and got it down to a bare shell, and we sent it away to be dipped. And when it came back, there was about this much missing off the bottom. The roof was nearly separated from the floor. It was incredible. And we took it to Bewley, just the bare shell on the chassis. We took it to Bewley, and this chap came up to me and he said, I've been restoring Mark II Jags for about 20 years. He said, this is the worst bloody one I've ever seen.
Okay, we do kind of quite like to bring along a challenge for John once in a while, and it's one of our favourite little jokes is to find something really awful that's completely non-repairable. And just leave it for John in the workshop and then go home for him to discover on a Monday morning when he comes in. And it's always quite good fun to just sort of revisit the workshop later to discover what sort of note John has left on the car. He likes to leave us little notes, and my favourite was one that I can't read out, I can't repeat the language. But that was one of my favourites, the Toyota, you may remember. Yeah. Anyway, John, thank you so much, and thank you for putting up with all of us as well. We're really grateful. You know, John's a bit of a hero of ours on the magazine. He really is a sort of go-to guy when we come unstuck, as we do quite often, as we all do. We use